Hello, my name is Ian, and welcome to my demo and explanation of a DoS attack that I found for XiongMai Netcams. For this, the specific model used is a Besder IP20H1, but it actually is a XiongMai camera. They're just white label. That's just how China works. All right, so the overview is basically this. I found a denial of service attack that exploits a bad conversion from uint 32 to an int 32, and it doesn't work out so great for the camera when it tries this. Um, and the problem basically affects it affects all commands that you are privileged enough to run. Um, so I specifically targeted for this attack the login function of the device because you can always run login. You can literally be the most unprivileged user, and you can always run login. So let's jump on into it. So the first part of it is that there is a message structure that is sent between the camera and the client. Uh, this message basically is a 20-byte header. These are all the fields that are in the header: type, session ID, some unknown fields, magic, and size. None of these matter for the exploit. All that matters is magic and size here. You could literally make these guys pretty much anything, I think, except for type, which has a little special thing that it does. But both the magic and size are really what we need to focus on here. So magic actually controls the command that's run. Um, it is a uint16, so it's a 2-byte field. Uh, for this instance, the magic we're going to use is 03E8, which is the login magic. And then we have size. Now, when you look at the field, it looks like it's a uint32, so I denoted it as such, but it's actually an int32 that gets improperly casted, and size should never be an int32 because it should never be negative, as you can see why in a sec. So let me just run over here real quick and grab this bad boy. Ooh. All right, so this is, can I get my REPL? There we go. So this is a test program that I wrote that shows exactly what I'm talking about here. I is 80000000 whatever, and it's an int, right? J is just one below that. When we print the two, J is as it should be, but I is negative, which is not necessarily something you might expect or want, especially for a size variable. Obviously, size should never be negative. So we'll just close that guy out real quick. So let's move on to the actual exploit here. So right now I have the login string with just a regular thing, a regular size, which is a size of 0 for right now. And this won't cause a crash. This will reply back with a basically a login failed. That's what the ret205 in this little thing means. So yeah, now that we've seen it, it works normally. We're gonna give it a try now with a higher number. Oh. All right, so let's run this bad boy. And before I run this, I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to run a ping, and then I want you to pay very close attention to the Android phone's timer. That little timer that's ticking up shows that it's still a live feed, and that timer is going to stop in a second and stop working. So we're going to run. Oh, let me start my ping here real quick. And my stopwatch, and then run, and then bam. So we get a receive EOF, and this is extremely important that it's an EOF because it actually means that the socket closed. So the server crashed, it hit something bad happened, and the socket itself ate it. You'll see it still responds to pings too, but it'll only do that for a little while. It is rebooting right now, and you can see on the Android phone that the timer has in fact stopped. I'm actually waving my hand in front of the camera right now. You can't see it. Um, This exploit's kind of cool because it does kind of have that Hollywood hacker-esque vibe to it, where you crash the camera, it just holds a still frame of the image. The only way you know that the camera's failed, if you're just sitting here watching the client, is that it won't come back. It'll just sit there and connect. And the timer is a good indication that something went wrong, but the uh, what's it called? The uh, timer isn't actually enabled at by default on the camera. So basically, if you were just watching it, you would never know that something happened. So we're just waiting here. You can see the time it's starting to time out on the ICMPs. It's gonna start giving us a destination under host unreachable, but it'll come back fairly quickly. Usually it doesn't take too long before the guy comes back. There we go. Came back. Cool. Yeah, very exciting. So yeah, again, this totally is unprivileged. You don't even need to be logged into the camera to do this. It works. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this, please check out my blog at 0x424242.in. 424242.in. Oops. There we go. Yeah, please check out my blog. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.